I changed my take on this quite a lot in the recent years. So I think the first influence was really Martin Balluch. I heard him speak about 10 years ago. This was very much in the beginning of my whole vegan journey. And it just made total sense to me, like this whole idea of freedom being the most important thing. It really resonated with me. Also, I think for a very long time, I was really falling for this bias or this whole idea of nature is beautiful and it might not always be great, but at least it's okay or something like that. And then this really changed quite a bit last year at the International Animal Rights Conference when I listened to two talks. Actually, one was Hancock's and the other one was from Raimon Sabater, and I think he is here, which is really cool. So both of them were talking about this whole thing, this bias that we have often, that we think nature is something good and nature is beautiful or it's perfect, or at least it's okay. And especially Jack, I think many of you know this talk. He was really going quite vividly into the suffering that so many animals in the wild experience. And that really changed my perspective quite a bit. And I agree with him that we probably should, within the scope of our capabilities, try and reduce and prevent this suffering. But then also I was a little bit left with, okay, how far can this go? I mean, what can we really do? Of course, there are some things that we can, but a lot of other stuff probably not. And then it was in the beginning of this year that I listened to a talk at the AI for Animals conference. And this was the talk by David Pearce. Some of the regulars here know that I'm a fan ever since that talk because I mention him rather frequently. That for me was like, wow, that might actually be the solution. So David Pearce is a philosopher, transhumanist, and he talks about a world that, according to him, we can achieve, or we will have the technology one day where there will be absolutely no suffering. It would be a vegan world, and it would be even a vegan world for animals. So there wouldn't be any predators, and there would also be no starvation. This is achieved with genetic modification. So when I heard this, I was like, wow, so predators would be either phased out or herbivorized. And I thought, oh my God, this is brilliant. So I left this talk and I was telling everyone about this and how great it is. And I realized not many people actually shared my enthusiasm about this. Many said that will never be possible. Okay, this was one thing. But others said, oh my God, we're just going to make such a chaos. Recently, I spoke to a friend of mine who is very much involved in rewilding. And I mentioned this as well. And she's obviously much more knowledgeable about this than I am. And she said, oh my God, this is really dangerous. If you change one little thing, can create such a damage and it would be really bad. And of course, I get that. I totally get that. And we have to probably be really, really careful. But for me, it's like, given that one day we have the knowledge, and I'm someone who strongly believes or has a strong faith in technology, because I mean, how it evolved in the last 100 years, it's accelerating. So I have strong faith that one day we might have the possibility to do this in a safe way. And given that, provided that we really can and we know what we are doing and we can do it in a safe way, I'm for it. Now, as I said, my experience with this is usually everyone goes against me. So yes, I'm really excited now to find out what people here think about that.